Hey folks, Joe Iaquinto here with Bad Cell Phone Video Reviews. Today I'm going to take a quick look at the Fender Vintera II 1970s Telecaster Bass. Fender did a heck of a job with this, let me tell you. I was really happy to see that they were coming out with these. You could have gotten the surf green ones all day. I didn't want that. I don't know why they picked that color, but I got the blondie, which was really that was the color on these things. I wish they would have come out with candy apple red or black or walnut, some of those really cool 70s colors. Anyway, they did it. They did a great job. The neck is wonderful. It's nice and thick, but it's a bit tapered here. The original ones were thick the whole way. I mean, they were, Louisville sluggers. They got the decal right. They got that transitional Fender looking decal. The weight is great. These things were backbreakers back in the day. This is under 9 pounds. Now, I don't know if all of them are. I don't think so. I think most of them hover between the 9 and 10 pound range. But this one, I got really lucky. I was waiting for Sweetwater to get one in that was under 9 pounds, and I snagged it. So, string through like the old one. 3-bolt neck with the what do you call, just a tilt thing that gives you the neck angle adjuster. This pickup is a great pickup. It is not really a mudbucker. It's got the staggered pole pieces like a precision bass. Gibson had a bass called the EB4L, which had a pickup similar to this, only the pole pieces were staggered the other way, so like a reverse precision. But when these first came out, I was kind of perplexed because I didn't understand why Fender would want to take a full-scale, solid body bass like this and give it an EBO treatment, especially when it came out. I thought the timing was really weird. People were slapping, and it just didn't seem like it made any sense. Plus, like I said, I remember them being really heavy. I would do this thing, I worked on 48th Street. Actually, I take that back. When these came out, I was not working on 48th Street yet. But I remember going into the music stores, and these would be on the rack, and I'd pick it up and go, nope. So anyway, I did get to play a lot more of these when I worked at Manny's on 48th Street because we had them in stock. And I just didn't see anything appealing about them. So I took the chance and got this one, thinking, well, you know what? I'm sure I can resell it if it's a dog. But it is not a dog. It's a really cool bass, and it even has this old style, double saddle bridge thing. But here, let's check this out. I mean, it's not a mud machine by any means. It's got this really pleasing mid-range. So here you go. So everything's up. The volume tone are up. Nice and creamy. It's got that really neat, creamy low end. These are flat wound strings. I put flat wounds on mostly everything I play. These are the Ernie Ball Slinky flats. I swear by those strings. I love them. Turning the tone down a little bit, so choking it, giving a little bit of a low end. That increases the sultry sound of this bass to me. It's almost got a Rickenbacker sound, especially in the high end. Turning the tone knob all the way down. That gets you into EBO territory, but still it has a little bit of a point on it. It's a little clearer than an EBO. Obviously, the long scale, the maple, has a lot to do with it. This bass really shines when you take a pick and you do a muting thing, a palm muting kind of thing. further, the wad of foam, the beautiful wad of foam. Every bassist should have one of these. I have one. Pretty much all over the house I've got a wad of foam. I carry them with me. So you stick that wad of foam right under there. Dig this. It's total Motown, right? It's a thud. It's got that dead cool thud thing, but it still blossoms, right? I dig it. Take the wad of foam out. Okay. Pick. Voila. Pick. No muting. Rock and roll all day with this thing. It begs to have downstroke pick stuff going on. But you can also get the funky, I'm going to turn the tone down a little bit. Funny thing too is when you turn the volume down, the pickup reacts differently. Turn the volume all the way up. You know what I mean? So it's not just a volume thing. It affects the tone to me. It affects the overall timbre of the bass. That's a little too much. And then I can't help but give it that little bit of that mute. Now, those of you sitting there going, yeah, man, but I slap occasionally, you know. Well, me too. It's different. It's a different kind of slap. That's basically, if you followed any of my videos or seen me in the street, you know, that's the slap sound that I prefer. I prefer the old school slap and pop. That's still on the dead side, like the Chuck Rainey got, you know, with the Steely Dan stuff, and that's where I live. I don't really go in for the round maple body, you know, maple neck jazz bass, zingy, stringy stuff like that. I mean, it has its place. There's certain songs that call for it, but at the end of the day, that's kind of what I like, is what this thing does. Man, check it out. Oh, check this out. Yes, I'm excited. Got volume at about half, tone at about half. It's got its thing. I have jazz basses, I have precision basses, I have all sorts of basses. This is different. I have a Gibson EB3. You know what I mean? So this sits different. It sits in its own pocket to me. It's got its own vibe. That's the tone all the way up, volume all the way up. Take that tone down a little bit. So I don't know if you agree with me or not, but to me it has that creamy, it's got a creamy quality to it. And that's what the Rickenbacker has that I really like about the Rickenbacker. Only the Rick reacts differently. I don't think the Rickenbacker has the attack that this has. The Rickenbacker, kind of, you hit the string on the Rick and it just blossoms from that point out. This has an attack to it, like a Fender, bearing down on it, and you get that. But I could also get that real nice, where it does blossom, but you do get that instant attack. It's a fantastic bass. Fender Vintera II Series Telecaster Bass, I don't know, 70s model, whatever they call it, vintage Telecaster Bass. I'm telling you, man, it's pretty cool. It's a nice thing to have. I don't know if it would be the only bass I own. I doubt it. You know, it's got a groove to it, and it's got its own unique identity. But I can't put this thing down. I really dig it. With the round wounds, it sounded thinner to me. It sounded smaller. You know, it just didn't have the qualities that I look for. I think if you're playing straight out rock and roll and you're playing through a big amp, yeah, I think the round wounds would definitely work. But I tend to use smaller amps, 15s, and the flats. You know, and that's, again, that's where my heart is. That's where I live. I think this thing is just wonderful. And the intonation is fantastic. This bridge has no drawbacks whatsoever. The intonation is perfect. The action is perfect. I didn't have to do anything to this bass right out of the box. I didn't have to touch the truss rod, which thankfully it is, you know, the way they were back then. It has the bullet truss rod, which I don't think a lot of people appreciated at the time, but when you don't have to take the neck off to adjust the truss rod, that's a big plus. Anyway, clarity for days. Thumb rest is over here, which is cool. You know, visually I think that's cool. And again, if you do any kind of slapping on this, it really does come in handy to have it here. So this bass really, I mean, you can do the pop on it as I was doing before. It's a bit prohibitive to do that. It's possible. I mean, you could do the plucking, you know. But just for straight up thumbing, it's there. It's all there for you. So, where I thought this thing was extremely limited and almost ludicrous when it first came out, I'm eating my words. I think this is a great bass. They did make it a little more functional without destroying the originality of it. You know, I mean, they really were true to the classic version of the bass with just enough refinements to make it more playable and more agreeable, I think. And again, it's one of the best Fender basses I've ever played for the subtleties of what you do with your hands. Again, I'll make it, again, same line here. I'm playing very lightly. Right up in the air, I'm going to play the same line, like right about the middle of the body. Back by the bridge. Don't touch it. there too. Vintage 70s Telecaster Bass. Check one out. What do you got to lose, right? Call Sweetwater, call somebody else, call your mother. She wants to hear from you, and try it out. You know, I think you'll be surprised. I think as long as you know what you're getting, I think you'll want this sucker. And the price is right. I mean, it's really, I thought it was going to be a heck of a lot more money than it was. So, Joe Iaquinto here once again. Happy New Year, and I hope you dig what I'm putting down. I don't know, I just made that up. It sounded stupid, right? Happy New Year. Be cool. Telecaster Bass. Oh, wait. Yes. Okay. I'm digging this. I'm going to put it down right now. I promise. Take care. Next time. See you next time.